First law, the most fundamental of them all, is the law of thought. Everything starts with thought. Thought. You are your thought. You can't rise above your thought. You are limited by your thought. As a man thinketh, so is a man. People are poor, not because of what they have or don't have, but because of the way they reason. People are rich because of the way they reason. If you keep reasoning the right way, you're going to have everything you need. You're going to attract into your life. Because man, one of the laws also says that man is a living magnet and attracts into his life everything that he is. And that to change what is attracting, he has to change himself. So there's law of thought, there's law of attraction, but I jumped that law. The second law I call the law of goals. In creating the world, God had a specific agenda, even a time frame. He did it in 7 days. I don't know whether those days are 24 hours, but he did it in 7 days. On the seventh day, he rested. Number 3 law is the law of words. God spoke this entire universe. He commanded it into existence by the words that he spoke. Another law, what I call the law of vision. Everything is created twice. Everything God did, he saw it before he did. When God said, let there be light, he could never have said, let there be light, except he saw light in the midst of darkness. So if you can't see it, you can't have it. It's a law. Then there's the law of faith. All things are possible. Nothing is impossible. In fact, if something does not exist and you decide, God will create it just to satisfy you, which leads us to the law of prayer. You can ask God for anything. For the law of prayer simply states, said, don't worry about anything. Pray about everything. Don't forget to thank God and keep on praying until you get the answer. It's law of prayer. And then there's a law of decision. Nothing becomes dynamic until it becomes specific. You have to be decided. God decided to create the earth. It's a law. So if you don't know what you are deciding, you're not going anywhere. So there's the law of persistence. You don't give up. If you start something, stay with it. If you find that it's the wrong thing, change. But don't just do start and stop. You will never achieve anything. And by the way, I mentioned the law of goals. I rushed through it. I don't want to rush too much. But you know, the thing about law of goals is that this is 2022. Today is the 31st of October, Monday. I can tell you now, look back in the last 10 months plus. We're entering this 11th month tomorrow. If you had no goals at the beginning of this year, I guarantee you have not achieved much. You cannot achieve much without setting goals. Because if you don't have goals, if you're playing soccer without goals, it's confusion, chaotic. You have the ball. What do you do with the ball? So if you're living life, there are no goals. You're living in confusion. By the way, what will become your goals are your problems. Every time you have a problem, it becomes your goal. When you solve it,